Good morning, radio listeners, to another informative program, FYI, for your information, brought to you by the St. Eustatius Tourism Development Foundation. I am your host, Tina Lopes, the Public Relations Officer at STDF. This morning, our FYI program, we will highlight the up-and-coming Taste of the Cultures, as you know it as TOTC, which will be held on the 26th of September. And of course, following right after Taste of the Cultures is the 8th Annual Statia Sustainability Conference. So this year, you can say that we have merged the Taste of the Cultures in combination with the Statia Sustainability Conference. And in the studio with me, I have two lovely ladies, and I will let them introduce themselves, starting with the person right next to me.
Good morning, radio listeners. My name is Charmaine Turner, Office Assistant at the Statia Tourism Office.
Good morning, radio listeners. My name is Bernadine Woodley. I'm a member of the Taste of the Culture Committee.
Yes, so thank you, ladies, for joining me here in the studio this morning. We're going to have some fun while we share some of the exciting performances that will be happening at the next Taste of the Cultures. And the flyer says, and you'll see it later today on social media, a potpourri of station culture. And of course, the theme of the Statia Sustainability Conference, once again, which will be held on the 27th of September, and which is World Tourism Day, is culture, festivals, the economy, a sustainable way forward. And of course, this theme will be break down and cut into pieces as you attend the conference this year. We will go right into the program for the Taste of the Cultures, and like I said, there's a wide array of different performances that will happen, and this is a special edition of TOTC, seeing that we have so many persons that will be coming to Statia for the very first time. Before we go into the itinerary, let us just mention, I'll let my colleague Charmaine mention the different nationalities that will take part at the Taste of the Cultures this September.
Taste of Sweetness, Shani's Kitchen, Selby's, GVP School, Salt Life, St. Martin, Suriname, Dominican Republic, Statia Culture with a Caribbean Twist, Lanisa Lindsay Hodge, Aruba, Montserrat, Oasis, Jamaica, Marva Woodley, and Guyana.
Yes, and of course, without the vendors, there's not a TOTC, because they give us something to taste. And just a reminder that all foods that are sold at TOTC goes for a maximum amount of $5. We will go into the program. We have a lovely flyer here in front of us, and I will let Bernadine just go through half of the program, step by step, and we'll explain what will happen at TOTC this month as of, I think, next week, Thursday, right? Or the week after?
Yes, next week. No, week after.
Yeah, 26th.
Yeah.
Yes, Bernadine?
Yes, on our program, we will have Mia Jenna. She will be singing a song. And then the performances, we will have the winning troupe of the Carnival 2019, King of Kings, Queen of Queens, a dance by Sarang Group, a dance by the Domestic Violence, bachata dance by Koki and Charmaine.
Okay. So if you're wondering, yes, Bernadine mentioned that Mia Jenna will sing a song. And I think she also won a competition recently on St. Martin, and which we are proud about. And she will be on the program on behalf of MYF, which is the Megadi Youth Foundation. And of course, we wanted to include, seeing that the theme is very cultural. Like I said, the theme this year is about culture, festivals, and the economy, a sustainable way forward. And we thought it would be key to invite the winning troupe, which is the King of Kings, Queens of Queens of the 2019 Carnival season. And if you're wondering what Sranang means, I think it's for short for Surinamese. So the Surinamese group will also have, I think, Bernadine, a group
Children.
of young children,
Yes,
who will
children.
be dancing on stage. I think this is the first, so you should be anticipated to see this. And then there's the domestic violent dance, and this will be done by our reigning Miss Mature Queen, Miss Norris Williams. If you've been to the show in the July month, you would have got a nice taste of it, and she will be doing that again during the Taste of the Cultures. And the bachata, we love to see. Some of us try to dance bachata. We try to dance. But when you see Koki and Charmaine, you're like, whoa, this is a movie. So they will be doing, I think, 2 dances,
Yes,
bachata
exactly.
dances. So that's half of our program. Just letting you guys know that normally Taste of the Culture starts at 6 p.m. But we really want to start on time because the following day we have the conference. So, it's going to be fun. It's a really ram-packed program. And then we will continue with the next half of the program.
We will have a parade of flags by the nationalities that will be taking part in the Taste of the Culture. So the reason for this, we're going to have each nationality that will be taking part will be carrying their flag, and the idea is for them to wear their native costume or native wear. So we're looking forward to that, along with their flag parading from the airport to the venue. And then we will have Indian classical dance, which will be done by our reigning Miss Mature Queen, Norris Williams. A song by Sexy Mona. This should be a cultural song she have in mind. And a skit by Little Miss Stacia, Melifany the Palm. And a maypole dance by the Alobi dancers.
Okay. So if you listen carefully, we have more than 10, I think, more than 10 performances, or at least 10 performances for Taste of the Cultures on September 26th. I think the song that Sexy Mona is going to sing is a song that she sung very long ago. Don't ask me what it names. I had a nice sit down with Clementina a couple of days ago, and I got this nice feeling about sitting with her, and she was like singing very old songs, and then I see Auntie Rosie dancing and Uncle Charlie singing. I was like, wow.
Yes.
And then Auntie Rosie was telling me, this is how we did it when we were growing up.
Yes.
My
yes, I
mother
could
sang,
imagine.
and I don't know, Bernadine, you sound like you. This
Yes,
is
I know those things. That's what I'm saying. It's your grandmother, and she knows a lot about the culture.
Yeah.
Yep.
So she was singing like very old songs about, experiences of the past. And then here comes Auntie Rosie dancing with her folkloric dress. And this is in the yard, in the yard of Clementina in Golden Rock.
That's why it sounds great that we, the older folks, who's going to be the next seniors, should start participating or teaching the younger children of our time.
Yeah. It's true, and I was like, boy, and Mr. Lindo was telling Clementina, Clement, we need to get you on the stage for Taste of the Cultures, for Stacia Day. People need to see this. And she was like, are you ready? Whenever you're ready.
Yes, of course.
That will be fun.
Yeah, it was really nice. It was really nice. I was like, wow. Just to know, how things was when they were growing. They had a nice long conversation about how they grew up, you know, as a family and the things that they used to do, which was, the mom would sing and the kids would sing along or dance. You don't see that these days. So there you had it. We've just outlined what will happen at Taste of the Cultures as of entertainment part. And we have some singing, some dancing, some drama skits, and we also have the Maypole dance, which was something
Years back,
yeah.
I was taught by Minia Dennis at that time. I danced the Maypole dance.
You see?
Yes.
I think, Sha, you told me you danced the Maypole.
Yes, when my aunt had a dance group as well a couple of years ago. I also did that.
Okay. I think the last time I saw persons doing the Maypole dance was an event Marcella Gibbs had where I think it was in the Golden Rock area. So she had like different stops. Every stop you did something.
Oh,
And what the Maypole dance was part of it. So
It's like plaiting of the ribbon.
yeah. So we're looking forward to seeing these lovely performances at the Taste of the Cultures on the 26th of September. And of course the time is from 6 p.m. until 9 p.m. And as of vendors, our list is full. We have a full, how many booths?
16.
16 booths this time around, and I think next month, if I'm not mistaken, is also full. So we're looking forward to seeing. Let's just repeat the names of the different vendors. I know that we love the Taste of Sweetness and the Oasis and all
And the
these.
GVP School, the Shani's Kitchen, Selby's, Salt Life, St. Martin, Suriname, Dominican Republic, Statia Culture with Caribbean Twist, Lanisa Hodge, Aruba, Montserrat, Jamaica, Mava Woodley, Oasis, and Guyana.
Okay, so we're looking forward to TOTC.
And we are also stressing that at least each one nationality from each country is supposed to have on their cultural wear within the booth. And that same person will be the one to take part in the parade with the flag. So if you don't have your wares yet, I hope you're busy working on that.
We hope. We really want to make a huge impact this time around. And so we are encouraging, if everyone in your booth doesn't have it, it's okay. But at least one person should wear their national wear on
Even
the
if it's the colors of the flag,
yeah, something that
something,
depicts,
yes, that depict your nationality.
yeah. So our second fold this morning will focus mainly on the conference itself. And we'll have Mr. Lindo in the studio with us in a few minutes. But we just wanted you guys to know that we have a really great program, and it's a special program for TOTC. And the program says a potpourri of station culture. And of course, the event will be held at the Mike Van Putten Youth Center from 6 p.m. until 9 sharp. We really have to end on time, seeing that we have the conference the following day.
and our children needs to go to school.
Yeah. So normally we put the kids a little up front. So we just mentioned the names of who all will be taking part. But of course, we'll have the kids in the earlier stages of the program because they have to go to school.
And this Taste of the Culture is extra special one because we will also have our speakers already on the island.
Yeah.
So they'll also be there at Taste of the Culture.
And one of them is Miss Clara Reyes, and I got the opportunity to meet her, and she trained us, a nice, unique dance. There was a time, I think 2 years ago, Stacia Day, and we were very impressed by her. And of course, this was through Teacher Rosie. And I must say that, Clara Reyes is a very cultural lady, and she's head of the culture department on St. Martin, and she will also be here on Stacia as part of one of the sessions during the conference. So we are really encouraging those who are into entertainment, if you haven't organized an event before, but you want to do so, you can come to the conference and get the information so that you can be on the right path. We have some really great persons who will be coming to Stacia for the very first time and sharing information based on the theme, culture, festivals, and the economy. And we hope that you grab this opportunity to be part of it and get the knowledge that you need, and of course to network and gain contact so that you can stay in touch. It's not just a one-time thing. You never know where this conference can take you. So we're encouraging you guys to register. And if you want to register, you can call the tourism office at 318-2433 just for information. We can email you the registration form if you send an email to us. And you can send that email to Maya-Leon
Pont at stacia-tourism.com.
So Maya-Leon-Pont at stacia-tourism.com. And if you love to walk or you want to drive to our office, we are still at the Kerkweg at the Godet House, and we are open from 8 a.m. until 5 p.m. from Monday to Thursday, and Fridays, of course, we close at 4:30. So you can pass by our office or give us a call if you would like to register for the up-and-coming conference. And I'm sure that registration forms will be available at TOTC on the 26th of September. But we encourage you guys to please come and register early as possible, because there's a lot to hold in consideration when you're planning an event. So I'm a very cultural person. I'm into culture. I'm looking forward to TOTC on the 26th, and I'm sure that you guys are anticipated as well, because our station has grown to love this taste of the cultures. Even when you go in by the pharmacy and you see Pat's, they got taste of the culture this month, of course. She said, I don't tell my girl already, we going. So, people are really into the atmosphere. They look out for it. Yeah, and to have the meals, and maybe we need shopping carts now so that people could go in and get their meals, because it's really nice, a really nice event. You can come and just relax and unwind. While we're waiting for Mr. Lindo, we will take a short pause, and then we will be right back with a little bit more information about Taste of the Cultures, and then we'll go right into SSC number 8. Okay.
And the rest of the Caribbean. So the Stacia's Tourism Development Foundation is taking part in this very, very important endeavor. I am tourism. I am tourism.
I am tourism.
I am tourism.
I am tourism.
I am tourism. I am tourism.
I am tourism.
I am tourism.
I am tourism.
As Junior Commissioner of the island of St. Eustatius, I have had the opportunity of representing my island on several occasions. Tourism is everybody's business. I am tourism.
This is your program, FYI, keeping you informed on topics in and around tourism development. Stay tuned and be informed, FYI, brought to you by the St. Eustatius Tourism Development Foundation.
We are back, radio listeners, and of course we are here sharing some up-to-date information regarding the taste of the cultures. And of course the next one is the last Thursday of the month, which is the 26th of September. And while we are here reflecting on what will happen, a great memory came to mind. I recently traveled to the Dominican Republic with a group of nice church ladies, and it was a really fun trip. Good morning to you, Marjorie and Terry and Julie. It was a really fun trip, and I must say that, you know, as we encourage folks to be part of the conference, which will be focusing on culture, festivals, and the economy, it is a great thing also that we encourage our church members to host events, you know, because this was a great event held in the Dominican Republic. It was a women's conference, and it was all about the church, the SDA church, and it was a really great program where you got to know about your personalities. There were workshops, there was cultural performances where the Statia group did a nice performance about this is our culture, and they were cooking on coal pot, and it was really, really, really nice. So, you know, here we are with a wide array of events, you know, various events that takes part on our yearly itinerary for Statia events. And we are also want to encourage the Christian community to also come up with great conferences, you know, events that people can also attend. You know, it's really nice. It was a really nice program held in the DR, and we would love to see something like this happen here on Statia too. So would be a great idea if somebody, our Christian community, can start coming up with some great annual events. You know, we love galas. There are so many lovely galas on our program, on our yearly program for events. But we would also love to see some religious events happening here on our island. Just food for thought for those of you who are tuning in. Once again, good morning to you, Marjorie, to you, Terry and Julie. We hope that you're enjoying your morning, and just want to say a special good morning to you guys, and to you, Charlene, as well. Good morning to you. We have Mr. Lindo in the program who is joining us right now. But like I mentioned earlier on, we just go through one last time our Taste of the Culture program, which is a ram-packed program, by the way. For those of you who are now tuning in, we'll just go over the program one more time so that you can know exactly what's going to happen at Taste of the Cultures this coming 26th of September. And like I said, it would be great if we had Clementina on the program, because I really had a nice time with her in the yard a couple days ago. Let's, Bernadine, we just go over the program one more time. We have a song.
The song is by Mia Yenner, a performance by the winning troupe of 2019, King of Kings and Queens of Queens, a dance, a dance by the Sarang group, the Suriname children, a dance by the domestic violence, bachata dance of Koki and Charmaine.
Parade of flags by nationalities. We will have a parade of flags by the nationalities where one person from each booth will be dressed in their cultural wear during this flag parade. We will also have an Indian classical dance by our reigning Miss Mature Queen, Norris Williams. A song by Sexy Mona, a skit by Little Miss Stacia Melifany the Palm, and a maypole dance by the Alui dancers.
Yes, so that is what's going to happen at the Taste of the Cultures on the 26th of September, God's Sphere Life at the Mike Van Putten Youth Center from 6 p.m. until 9 p.m. sharp. We know that we like to go over the time, but because we have the conference the following day, the program will end at 9 p.m. sharp this time around. And like I mentioned earlier on, our program is a twofold program, and now we will discuss the up-and-coming 8th Annual Stacia Sustainability Conference, which is scheduled for the 27th of September and is also World Tourism Day. And if you tuning in to our program every Thursday from 9:15 to 10:15, 1 hour long, you will realize that we start off our program with a lot of people from in our community expressing I am tourism. And as we like to say, tourism is everybody's business. So we have Mr. Charles Lindo, the Director of Tourism, here in the studio with us. And we just wanted to shed some light on a few things for the conference, and I will let him take the mic.
Where you want me to take it to? Good morning. Thank you so much for having me in the studio. Yes, indeed. I was listening to the program earlier where you all talk about the Taste of the Culture, and this is actually one of the largest one I think we have had, with so many entertainment taking place in the evening. So I definitely look forward to that particular evening. And also I think one thing we failed to mention is that we're going to have some different MCs on the stage as well during this particular evening. And yeah, looking forward for everybody to come out. And one of the things that I think you also we could mention is that during the course of this event, we will also have some signing up possibilities for the following day for the conference.
You mentioned that. You wasn't listening good enough.
That's why I said we could mention it. we should not, okay, let's reiterate it, that you can definitely sign up. And
but even though we want to encourage folks to sign up in advance.
Yes, indeed. Indeed,
That's
definitely. Because again, this conference is, as was mentioned, is going to be about, not just the economy, but also festivals and culture, and how all of this can blend and mesh and become something that is positive for Stacia. I was just doing some research before I left the office and reading up on some other articles and things like that, and it goes to show that, tourism is like a chameleon. That's what I like to say. One of the things that you realize is, if you look at the region that we live in, we are one of the most soul-dependent region when it comes to tourism in the world. And a lot of things happen within this little region that we have here. Let's just take what's happened in our sister island across the bay over the past 2 weeks ago. I mean, they are huge on tourism. And hurricane have devastated, their little island. Guess what? The only source of income is tourism for these guys. Now, at the end of the day, they're going to have to find some way to adapt and to come back with some things that can really foster or boost their economy, which is, again, tourism. One of the things that we have realized is that festivals have taken a new turn. In the past, festivals, was mostly central around cultural, political, or religious beliefs, something that has to do with those aspects. Now you're starting to see more and more, even though it still maintained the connotation of referring to something, because you'll find a festival that is about something or someone. Whereas, you'll find somebody might say they're going to put a festival in commemoration of. There you go. You see what I'm saying? So now things have taken a little twist, but it still kept the same identity as this is what it's going to refer to. So it's going back to somebody. But what is so, I must say, it's not strange, but it's good that the Caribbean region now have seen what festivals can do to their economy. In India, these things have been taking place. In the Middle East, these things have been taking place. Like every day, there's a festival for something. Here in the Caribbean, we have noticed now that, and especially because of the tourism aspect of it, festivals it's a quick win-win for everybody. Remember, a festival lasts anywhere between what? A day to a week. Between that time, you get at least 200, 2,000 people, depending on the festival itself. Let's take Carnival. That's one of the largest festivals within the Caribbean region. And more you see people are asking, hey, when is your Carnival? When is your Carnival? They want to travel and go to these festivals and go to these happenings. They just had a cooler fest. Cooler fest across the bay there. And people are coming up with more creative things to do when it comes to festivals, because one of the things it does, it generates money into the coffers. It brings people to your destination, so it creates awareness. And at the end of the day, what you get as well is that people look forward to these things on an annual basis. But the kicker to that is it eco-friendly? And I think that's the part that we are going to be talking about as well in the conference, where yes, it can be productive. Yes, it can be something that's going to be good for your economy. But at the end of the day, we also got to make sure that when people walk away from it, that it's not going to be a burden on your community or your society because of what's left behind. And I think that's very important to touch on. And I think those are some of the things that we will be talking about in the conference, where festivals are a good source of revenue, but they also can be, if not taken properly, or if not handled properly, let's put it that way, they can also be, and at the end of the day, a SWI. ISO, they will call it,
Yes.
ISO when it comes to the finalizing of it. We see cups and bottles and glass and all these styrofoam and plastic bags and things like that hanging around. So I think those are things that we definitely need to look at and see how. And again, I keep saying Statia could be the model for many island or destinations within the Caribbean, because we are so small and we are such a grouping, such a nice little small community. Everybody know each other in a sense, and you don't have to go too far to know that something is happening down the road tomorrow. You drive down the street, hey, there's a food sale down there, just for example. Pretty much everybody know when something is happening and who's keeping it and how it's going, etc. So, these are things that we have to start looking into and seeing how we can improve when it comes to festivals. But I definitely believe that Statia can capitalize on festivals, and that could be a niche for us. Could be a real niche where we get that awareness going and we get people coming to the island quick. It's a quick win. It's a quick turnaround.
But when we look at the yearly itinerary for events here on Statia, Mr. Lindo, we realize that most of the events are, they're of the same caliber, the same way. You do the Statia Day, you plan Carnival, and Easter, and a lot of people are saying that Easter is not the way it used to be in the past, where I remember when I was younger, very small girl, my mother would take us down to the beach. She would have a tent up, and we would sleep at the beach. I remember Gladys Robbins too. They was our neighbors on the beach. They would come down with their tents, and they would also sleep on the beach during the Easter time, and nobody would swim on Good Friday. I don't know if that's a thing. Nobody would swim in the water on Good Friday, and we know that we don't eat nothing with blood on that day also. So when we look at the program, we also don't really see any gospel concerts, Christian related events. Why do you think this is a cause? Because I know when we plan in our events, especially the conference and our galas, we make sure don't keep it on a Friday, because we want to make sure that the Christian community can also be a part of the event. So I don't know, maybe you have some sentiments to share.
Well, I'm again. I don't know everything. I don't have all the answers. But you can look at certain trend and then you read up on certain things. Again, as you mentioned, one of the reasons why you don't want to do a event on a Friday evening is because you want to make sure that everybody is a part of it, and don't leave out anyone. But traditions do changes over time, and someone was talking to me. I think it was Walter Hellebrandt. We was talking, and one of the things that I think he mentioned was traditions, customs, and things like that. They changes. They evolve. The thing is, you do not want them to evolve and go too far from what is the norm. Remember, I mentioned earlier that if you look at what's happening now with festivals, they have changed from being the norm, which is a religious outcome or a political or something like that, to more food. You have food festivals, you have music festivals, so sport festivals. So they have changed. One of the things that we have not been able to do here is change our view on festivals as yet. And let's just take what you have just said. You said what we see in here, everybody's doing the same thing.
Yeah.
So you have, like you mentioned, you have the carnival, then you have the stationary activities. It's all about the same music, entertainment. But I guarantee you, as time go by, and and that's why I like to say, there are certain people in positions, in not just in Statia, but around the world, where you were given the opportunity to be able to pinpoint or point out where people should make changes. And I think that's where we come in. We are the ones who would be able to sit and say, look, if you do it this way, it could become something different or better, or start looking at this direction. One of the things that we have been talking about, just to go back to what you said, is a goat meat festival, for example. Why? It ain't because you want to get rid of all the goats on the island, but you want to do something different. You want to have something different, something that, Nevis have mango festival. You think it because they want to get rid of all their mangoes and kill all their mango trees? No. You have the mangoes there. What can we do with it that will make Nevis stand out? Now, all of a sudden, when you think about a mango festival, you think about Nevis. You see what I'm saying? That's what it's about. But you need to get people to start thinking in that direction. And I think this is where we are, and again, as I said, the ones who they have placed there to come up with these different suggestions and ideas. But we are the ones who are placed there, and we need to start pushing those things out there, giving people ideas of how you can do this, what can you do, how to go about it. And many times I get people come up to me and say, hey, listen, I have this idea, what do you think? And we sit down and, we play with their idea, bring an idea in place, or you bring in an extra person to talk about it, and then before you know it, it's something that they can work with. But again, we need to start thinking out the box. And thinking out the box simply means, what can we do different than the other islands are doing? Everybody does a jazz festival. Everyone does, the basic stuff. And we're trying to do the same thing here. I have an idea that I've been working with in my mind for the longest while. And it's an idea that I've been researching it to see if there's any other country or island or whatever doing this type of festival. And nobody's doing it. But it's something that I strongly believe can work because of the magnitude that's out there, that people would love to come to something like that. Statia can be the first to do something like that. Yeah, but again, we need to start getting these information out there to people. So I wouldn't say that we are not we are not going towards the direction of understanding what festival does. It's just that we are following the trend, and we need to start stepping a little out the box.
And that's why the conference is so important this year.
Yeah.
Because hopefully you come and you attend and you be one so eager to find out, how you can make changes, little small changes to your event to make it different from the rest.
Yes. I let's just take Humphreys, Mega D. I think he has one of the good program going thus far. But there's also a spin-off from that same program that he does, which the all-white event. Why can't that be a festival? That can be something within itself. It don't have to be 4 days. It could be 1 day. It could be one single day. I would just want the all-white festival. And he take that and he run with that and he make that into a team. Nobody's doing that anywhere. They have all kind of different all-white this and, dress white that. But there's no one that is actually doing it at that magnitude. And to be honest with you, this all-white event that he had is catching on and is growing. People are looking forward to it. People look forward to this all-white event. If you take a drive down there when he have this thing, but it's like people are safe to buy their little white outfit. And they got their white shoes and all these. So this is what I'm saying. These are things that can actually happen. But we just need to start thinking a little further, a little bit more out of the box, and start coming up with different ideas. When you mentioned the concert from with Mr. Burkle, I think I heard you mention a gospel concert, and when you said that it was definitely a nice gesture, and I believe I heard him kind of whisper somewhere in his interview with us here that this could become an annual event. That's something that we definitely need and again, it's a musical, but it's a different type of musical that we are done what we are used to. And to go back to what you said about why we try to do things during the week instead of Friday evening. A concert like that should, and I'm saying should, or a festival like that should have a huge turnout, because of the type of persons we are on this island. We have a huge body, if you want to call it that, of religious belief people on this island. And I do not think that a religious festival should be of denominations. It should be a festival that is done based on religions. That's it. It's a belief. And every man should be welcome or should attend that particular festival, because again, it's not about A, B, C, or D religion. It's about the religious festival. And that, I think, would be something that we would need to get out of first. Instead of saying, I ain't going because Charles doing it. Charles ain't from my church. Or Charles don't even go to church. And he come with a religious festival. I ain't going. No, it's not about Charles. It's about the event. It's about what can you gain from that event. It's about the persons who are coming in. And just like the conference, do not look at the conference that is being organized and this person is involved and that person is. Come out to the conference. See what it is there for you. See what you can get from it, what you can gain from it. Because at the end of the day, the information that's being delivered, the information that's going to be put out there, is for your benefit and what you can do with it at the end of the day. Because it's not going to, what I get from it is not what you're going to get from it. So don't think that my information is going to go over to you. No, you need to get your own. Yeah, and that's basically with everything that we have to do on this island. And the concert is the conference is a great start to everything I believe that we need to start thinking of and changing our ways of thinking, changing our ways of doing things. Again, Statia is a community. If you take these other major islands, St. Lucia, Jamaica, and all we are parish. We're just a little small part of these little. We are a little small part. Some of these islands have parishes that is bigger than us. We have 3,000, 4,000 plus 3,500 people here plus minus. Some of these parishes have 4,000, 5,000 people in them. You understand what I'm saying? So why can't we as an island come together and start looking at things that is going to shape us as stations? Because from the time you live here, you're a station. I don't care where you come from, you're a station. Because you're paying your taxes, you wake up every morning. And if something happened in the south that's going to damage the south, come straight to the north, all of us going to perish from it. Right? Exactly. So you're a station, you're here. Each and every one of us have a responsibility to take care of this little rock. And going to this conference and understanding what is important and the importance of taking care of this rock, I think this is a good start.
Bernadine, you wanted to say something?
You ain't want to say nothing what I said?
I would just like to say, in the years I was growing up, we know about talent shows and all those kind of things, and all the youngsters from then used to take part, and it used to be something very nice. We used to have Elise Corter and Teresa, her sister, Rita, everyone taking part. So I think we can go back in those days and everyone come on stage and do something.
A blast from the past.
A blast from the past.
I like that.
That's a real good idea. Again, but what it does too, it gives the youth encouragement.
Yeah.
Because somebody, I think, said that someday. They said, the same show they had with the band, the old time band, and coming back together and things like that. I remember hearing
Reunion.
Yes, I remember hearing a young boy saying, "I didn't even know my uncle could have play guitar." And I'm like, "Whoa, listen to that!" You know,
everything is kept hidden.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like the gem.
So we need to start getting those things out. You see, for that little boy to say he didn't even know his uncle could play guitar, that tells me a lot. That tells me that we are not sharing. You see, and if you are not sharing, just like you said, you keep saying, Ms. Lopes, you love to talk to Mr. Berkeley because he loves to share. And what does he share? His knowledge.
Everything.
Everything. And if we are not sharing, I mean, you're going with it.
I love Clementina now too. Yeah, she shares, she sings, she ain't afraid.
Not at all. And matter of fact, she won't go on the stage.
I love that.
I give her
She won't go on the stage and sing her
a
songs.
big plus for that because Clemma knows a lot.
Yes.
She knows a
Definitely.
lot and she makes you laugh,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
like her son Charlie.
Yeah.
You have a Rosie, you have a Malvern.
Oh Lord, don't
Yes,
worry,
it's
oh
all
Lord.
from the old
Rosie
time.
was there when we was
Yes.
there. Thank God Malvern didn't come because it was incredible for that short moment we were there. And I think there's a lot more of
But
these
if you
persons
look at
out there.
if you look at Clementina, her kids are really inspired by her.
Yes.
Because before that day we went by her yard, Charlie would sing the song. My mother,
Yeah,
and he would be
yeah.
like, my mother.
But he
would
went
sing.
on stage and sang,
Yeah,
remember?
my mother
Yeah.
would sing these songs.
It's
Yeah.
true.
Yes, and we have a Saturday afternoon at the house, the big yard. And my brothers, they sing all kind of old time
You
songs.
see?
And so all these things you can come back and have them be
And
played
then-
Would be
on
nice.
stage.
She was
Would be
telling
nice.
she was telling Mr. Lindo, you need to dress up in a dress and a wig.
I put our heel and go on the
Yes,
road.
that is talent show. It used to happen. It used to happen.
I told her, I said I'll be the ugliest over the guy's station.
Maybe they'll fall for you too.
I would love to see that. Really.
But either which way, again, these are tradition. These are things that we need to get back to. And I believe, again, if you look at the culture, and that's because we're talking about this part. And folks, for those of you who would wonder why we brought this up, part of the conference is about the culture as well. So it's about festival culture and the economy. And, this is also our culture. What is, and I think somebody asked that in the past meeting we had, someone asked, what is our cultural wear? What is our food? What is our traditional dish? And a lot of people couldn't answer the question. And I told them flat, I knew what it was when I was growing up. I knew what I grew up with. I grew up, especially when you're talking about plaiting the pole. I remember going into the fort, and you'll see these people dancing and plaiting the pole, and they're dressed in their red, white, and blue, and they're going wrong, and they got on these frilly dresses, and the men would have on these nice frilly shirt, come down to the sleeve, and these kind of things. we don't have those things anymore, as you said. You know, those things are not there. I don't see
Well,
them
when I
anymore.
danced the Maypole dance, we also had a long skirt, white blouse, and like a piece on your head.
There you go.
So, but that was in the time with Minnie Dennis, and he.
Okay,
yes,
well,
he had-
definitely.
yeah, so.
Those, you see, those are traditions. Those are traditions. That's what I know as our cultural
Sharing is caring.
information.
And that is why I really appreciate Mr. Burkle, because imagine he just had what you call it? He just had an exhibition about the past when it comes to farming, etc. And he had a display of everything, you know, how the coal pot was set up, the cow pit, and everything. You could have gone there and seen it live.
Beautiful. It was beautiful.
And because of, I told him, Mr. Burkle, I think that you need to have a stone oven where you could bake bread for the guests when they come across.
Stone oven on bill.
And he done make it.
Hey, that bill. Stone oven there.
Yep.
Stone oven on bill.
Yeah.
But we were speaking
That's
also
right.
about having a bob. I don't know if you call a bob. Every Sunday, most persons that had cows, they used to go up in the mountainside or whatever and milk the cow.
Yeah.
And people make bob.
What's a bob?
Bob is milk with cinnamon and whatnot. To just sit down and enjoy the afternoon up there. Carol Houtman and Desmond.
But
you know,
those
they
are
used to-
them fellas. Why you think them folks lived till they was 80, 90 and all this kind of thing? Because they ate, you know, well.
Healthy.
They ate healthy. They ate from the ground. It was all natural. We are trying to get back to all that too right now. With all our backyard gardening, and we have had conferences on these things. You know, the Maiden Station project that is there right now, and all those LVV projects that's going on. These are all things that I think is very important for us. A lot and talk about this fresh milk thing. We don't even get
milk cows.
we
no
don't
more.
even do that no more. You know, you will get your bottle. I remember we used to get our bottle
Pine bottle
of
every
milk
morning.
every morning.
My brothers had to go around take it to
Boy.
the different homes.
And you wake up, you know, like how you see it on TV? The milkman, that's how it was. The milkman, you come up, but I didn't have to worry about it because my grandfather had his cow, so we used to have to go and build the cow.
Well, my dad
Yeah.
had a farm, so we
Yeah.
had cows, donkeys,
I mean,
goat, sheep,
incredible. You had all.
ducks, turkey. For Christmas, he used to kill his own turkey, and we eat from them. So,
But at least your family, the
We
generation,
still continue.
you
Yeah.
know, you have Likio with the chickens and
Yeah.
we have the
Layo who
baking,
love
we have-
animals.
We have everything.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
have everything.
But then they need to come down and putting fingers on her now. Come down to station day and share. Say we want
Yeah, put it in a skit.
we
drama
want a
skit.
night. Are we gonna come down? Are we gonna do some of the things that we gonna do? This is our Saturday morning. Our Saturday completely.
Saturday.
And you do your whole Saturday
Yeah.
during the course of that evening. And everybody and you do it as if you were home.
Yeah.
Why not?
Like when we went to Santo Domingo,
People can see
Charlene had a
tradition.
coal pot, and she told somebody, "Come light this coal pot. All our children do is think about how your belly." I want to hear them
We still use
think.
the coal pot. Saturdays we use the tree stone,
Yeah.
the fireplace. We use everything Saturday.
Okay.
Again, folks, we are talking about this because this is part of what the other part of the conference, which is about culture. And again, you know, it's also goes back to you and your traditions and what it is that how we have evolved
Yeah.
into what we are today. And many times we tend to forget. And like as I said, and then as I heard over the past few months, you know, tradition and cultures they tend to evolve, but you do not let them go beyond what is you know the norm. And I think that's where we are at. You adapt other persons or other destinations, culture and traditions, and pretty much is not you don't have one of your own anymore. And I think that's where we need to get back. But
It's like when we look at the outdoor stone ovens, how many do we have now? I heard that this was a thing in the past where almost everybody had one. And now we have like a handful of persons
It
who
has
have.
them, but a lot of people not using them.
Yeah.
They have them in the
a lot of them.
yards, but they're not using them.
I see
Correct.
some people lick them down and
Yes, because
Yeah,
I
well,
guess they don't
Again,
make
you
no
know,
more.
modern when you modern, it's like
Forget all
it's like
about
with us. I remember my grandfather used to have his cup, which was a can, and they would solder a handle to it, and that cup would be the cup that they would drink tea out, drink water out, drink everything would be drank out of that particular cup, and that same cup would go onto the fire.
Yes, but that's the time the dummy. I don't know if you remember the dummy.
Yeah,
He
yes,
used
yes,
to
yes.
make those cups
Yeah, yes.
from the butter
Simmons.
pan,
Oh,
Mr.
Mr.
Simmons,
Simmons,
yes,
Mr. Simmons.
butter cup. So you could drink from it. You put it on the stove, and you can even put it in the fridge.
Yeah. So again, you know, as I said, things have changed because we have gotten modern, and who is going to sit there and when I could go in the store and pick up one by any one of these guys over here and pick up a cup or two and walk up with it just like that. So things have changed, but the thing is, by changing, you also realize that they have been a strain on your environment.
it's only temporary.
Yes, it caused a strain on your environment, and now we are trying to get back to that. And I think that's where we are with you know, with the festivals and things like that. Noting that, look, again, festivals are good. They're great for the economy. They're great for business. They're great for cultural. You have cultural festivals. They're great for giving people information and bringing things back, bringing communities together. But that's one of the main thing of a festival is bringing people together. So you get a social bonding, and not just the local, but also the tourists who's going to come in and share in your culture and in your social gathering.
Talk
Now you
about
see,
it.
so you're bringing it together. You're bringing people together. But at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, what are you leaving behind? And I think that's the key part. That's the important part right there. Yeah.
We have came to the end of our program this morning, and like I said, when we started off, it would be a fun program, and as you can see, we had a lot of fun talking about what we know of the past, and hopefully for one of our upcoming Station Day events, we can see how the Woodleys used to be on a Saturday
They can do it.
afternoon.
I agree.
We can see how Clemma and her kids grew
I agree.
up singing and dancing. And
I think the Woodleys
different,
can
I'm
deserve
sure that there are other families
But-
listening to the program right now
Br-
and
Brandy
just
can organize it.
reflecting on how they grew up. And I hope that you are willing to share that information with us.
Bernadine can organize that, definitely.
I agree.
We know that you love to cook, Bernadine, and I think you guys are one of the families who still use the outdoor stone oven.
Yes.
We
So-
still maintain traditions.
Yeah, yeah.
That's good.
So we're looking forward to that. And sharing is caring. Hopefully, on one of our future programs, we can have maybe 3 families come in and share, you know, traditions of the past, you know, and I would love to hear it and you know, even document it, you know, to have that. So, dear listeners, we have come to the end of our fun program this morning, talking about the Taste of the Cultures, which is scheduled for the 26th of September, and also the 8th Annual Station Sustainability Conference, also scheduled for September month on the 27th, which is World Tourism Day as well. The theme
sponsors,
of the
the sponsors.
conference is culture, festivals, the economy, a sustainable way forward. And before we close our program this morning, we would just like to thank our sponsors for the Station Sustainability Conference, and my colleague Shadmin will mention our sponsors.
New Star Energy, Windward Island Bank, UTEL, Island Government, Dutch Ministry, Run Things Entertainment, Illices Entertainment Services, Brown Sky Rental, Obna Bank, PJ82, PJB, Rainier, Rivers Enterprises, Papaya Inn.
PJB 50.
50. PJB 50, DJP.
Yes,
Yeah,
we want to
go ahead.
thank you,
You done?
sponsors, because without you, we could not have had an 8th annual event. So, radio listeners, we want to thank you for tuning in. And once again, if you're in your office or at home or wherever you are right now and you're just reflecting on how you grew up in the past, you can contact us. We'll be happy to share that information on a future FYI program, of course, together with Bernadine. So we want to thank you guys for tuning in. Until next Thursday from 9:15 until 10:15, where we will bring even more information about the up-and-coming Statia Sustainability Conference. Don't forget that you can sign up. Registration has been open, and you can contact the Statia Tourism Office. We are still located on Kerkweg at the Godet House, and like I mentioned, our opening times are from 8 a.m. until 5 p.m., but we close half an hour early on Fridays at 4:30 p.m. So we are looking forward to your registration. If you would like us to email it to you, you can call our office at 318-2433. I want to thank you, DJP, for having us until next Thursday.
This is your program, FYI, keeping you informed on topics in and around tourism development. Stay tuned and be informed, FYI, brought to you by the St. Eustatius Tourism Development Foundation.
November month is the month of tourism for CTO and the rest of the Caribbean. St. Eustatius Tourism Development Foundation